It's a strange thing to be in your house and have the floodwaters creeping towards you, and you watch it, and then it enters your house a little bit, and it just keeps coming up. And a house that's being flooded makes lots of noise.
And it was raining hard at that time, and it was a Sunday evening.
We had canceled church, one of the first times ever.
That night, as many people experienced, rains came really hard and the water came up and then it stopped. And I'm thinking, we're okay. It goes back down. But then the next day, it really began. And it wouldn't stop raining.
And it was raining really hard.
And it was like that, within an hour.
It didn't happen.
The streets are too flooded and you can't leave.
And decided we probably better get out if we're going to get out.
And so I started measuring the water as it was coming up, and I'd measured that 10 inches was as deep as we could go and still stay there.
I was terrified. We started just moving everything that we could up to the second story.
So when it got 10 inches, we got in the car and left.
Each packed a suitcase full of throw-in clothes and shorts, and within about 45 minutes of making the decision, we were running with our one car.
And we walked out through, at times, hip-deep water.
It was weird because we walked outside and then I looked down the street and all of our neighbors kind of came out at the same time.
There were boats in the neighborhood, and as we got to the entrance of our neighborhood, down the whole street, there were boats, and the boats were coming in to take people out. Children, old people. It was a little hard. That was hard.
Omar and I both have trucks, so we were able to get over there, and we sat around Ryan's table, and we looked at each other and said, guys, this is going to be bad. From there, I think that moment, we didn't know what was going to come, but we knew Kingsland was going to play a big part in it.
We know that we can brand this as Kingsland, get a lot of publicity, and raise that flag and do good. Or we can make the determination that we're going to take the label off and invite other churches in the area to join us. What if we went in this together and raised the flag of the cross instead and see who we can impact that way?
We got an email stating that there was going to be a group of leaders that were meeting at Kingsland Baptist to just discuss the best way for us to collaborate moving forward and how we could have the biggest impact.
So within 3 days, there were 150 pastors and church leaders from all over the region gathering in our gymnasium. And I put out a call to some of our members and said, these people are headed to a shelter, but some of them are soaking wet. They have little children. They need to be in somebody's home. They need a chance to get clean and dry and be loved.
And that's when we began to see the response of our community and our church.
And it was just incredible to watch this happen in real time.
There's one phrase, and I've said this before to other people, is that Kingsland and Katy in general is going to show the world how to do community.
And it went from the senior pastor down to the maintenance staff, to the secretarial staff. Everyone in this church went above and beyond.
It was amazing. It's really indescribable. Seeing all these people just start pitching in and helping.
People just stepped up to do whatever was necessary to help people.
I knew this was going to be a big thing, because we just don't leave anybody behind.
It was just so beautiful to see people in our churches doing what Jesus did best, and that is moving in the direction of people in need and making a difference.
It was so cool. We had sign-up sheets going around, people that were serving the Texas Baptist men and women.
We set up 2 kitchens. The food was delivered on Wednesday, and we started cooking 15,000 to 20,000 meals a day out of the parking lot here.
And then there were people volunteering to hand out boxes and people volunteering to do laundry at the shower units. And everybody that I talked to, they just wanted a way to help.
I've never seen this kind of love. and I've never seen this kind of community.
It's part of being in Texas is we help each other. It's interesting to see the love that we have for each other.
After all, you are constant.
For those of us at Kingsland, serving others is really a part of who we are.
But the heart of this church has always been about family and taking care of each other.
Then secondly, I think specifically is our Kingsland family is there's a heart to go beyond. There's a heart to go beyond these walls.
Will you forsake me?
And they have a culture of, let's go help George, or let's go help so-and-so pastor, they need this and that. And that's the beauty of Kingsland Baptist, that you don't see that in many churches.
You know, we're a community, we're together, we love each other, and we love you even if we don't know you.
I said, I think Jessie said this one night. She said, I think we've cried more tears of gratitude than sadness.
I want the people of Kingsland to know that in our city's most needing time, they were the hands and feet of Jesus.
The breadth of it just brought about so much sadness, block after block, mile after mile of people hurting. And so in the midst of this, it also brought out the very, very best in Kingsland. Because right away, everybody just kind of realized this is what we do best anyway.
I could do nothing else but help my friends and community.
It just gave it a much deeper calling for me to want to be able to give back and help people.
No, Kingsland speaks for itself. And we have a mantra that we use. We say, Kingsland can. When no one else can, Kingsland can.
And I think through all of this, there's been a redemptive phase. I think for many people in our community, and I've talked to several who had never given much thought to God, had never given much thought to the church, now think a little bit differently about Him.
I think we have walls of separation between us that sometimes are attitudes, sometimes they're the false beliefs about what other people might say or think or do. And so if you can remove those barriers, those walls, then amazing things can happen. And what Harvey did was, in a 48-hour period, just destroy all of the walls. And so we got to see what the church can do when they're together.
And I think because they have seen, what I like to call the beauty of Jesus on display, they have been the recipients of the kindness of people who are Christ followers. And so there's this redemptive thread that has been running through this whole thing, very quietly running through this whole thing, as people are now thinking a little differently, maybe thinking a little deeper about God.
Life brings you lots of surprises, lots of surprises. And I think one of the things about being a believer is that you know behind all the normalcy is a foundation that you can live on and trust in and rely on. And so, once this hasn't changed us at all, we're exactly the same people. And the other sense is we have another experience that validates who we are and who He is.
So now we look at Kingsland today. There are still those who are trying to rebuild and put their lives back together after Harvey. But also there is this drive among the church to take the next step of being the hands and feet of Jesus to our community and going outside these walls even more to reach those that are a little bit unloved. And to see what is underneath all of that.
It was one of the greatest experiences of my life to watch the body of Christ be the body of Christ. I think in as close a picture of what God had in mind in the book of Acts as we've ever seen in our lifetimes. And I don't think it's going to end after the storm.